Okay, it's recording. Thank you for joining me today. In this exercise, what I'm going to do is I'll read the paragraph sitting just behind me, and I'll read it to you, obviously, and then from there I'll have you pause the video to reread it yourself. Embedded within this paragraph are multiple errors related to spelling, punctuation, grammar largely, and verb tense, and of course, a host of others. So feel free to dig in, make your corrections, and then resume the video when ready, and we will correct it together to see if your corrections align with my own. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to get out of the way. So looking at the paragraph, we have the sun is set on the barren nuclear wasteland. Dust blued through and empty streets as heavy mutated ducks roamed the landscape, searched for prey. Tristan knew that once a sun set, turtles would emerging in swarms, hungry human flesh. And then, of course, tell this story. This is a prompt we're doing in class. All right, I'll go ahead and I'll have you pause, make those corrections, and then resume. Okay, let's go ahead and dig into the paragraph together. Here we have the beginning of a sentence, a definitive article. It's lowercase, unfortunately, which means we do need to capitalize it. So I'll go ahead and add that in. So the sun is set on the barren nuclear wasteland. I'm assuming that set is meant to be the gerund, so it's presently happening, like it's setting. So the sun is setting, so double consonant, ing, on the barren nuclear wasteland. It looks like it's punctuated correctly. We're making a statement. Dust blued through and empty streets. So we're saying that this, although it has occurred, we're describing the dust blew through. So it's happening in the sense that it happened in the past, but we wouldn't refer to it as blued, right? It's just, it's an irregular verb, so you don't add ed or you don't append ed to it to make it past tense. Instead, you just modify the spelling. So dust blew through an empty streets. Here we've got the general article an. And of course, you would use an when the word preceding it begins with a vowel, which in this case it does. But we're looking for a definitive article in this case. So blew through the empty streets, because we're talking specifically about the streets we're describing, as heavy mutated ducks. Now you can interpret that as like the ducks being physically heavy, like they weigh a lot, or you would see it more so along the lines of an adverb. Attempting, or rather, use it as an adverb to describe the condition of their mutation, right? Or the extent to which these ducks are mutated. So as heavily, so drop that Y, I-L-Y, we're going to add in heavily mutated ducks roamed the landscape, comma, searched for prey. So while they did do it, we're describing something that we see occurring. So searched should be the gerund, should be searching for prey, and then of course we want to punctuate that, and in this case it's a statement, so we're going to go ahead and conclude with a period. Next paragraph, Tristan, beginning of a sentence, it's a proper noun, it's capitalized, we're good. Knew, this is a homophone, it has the same sound as the knew I intended to use, which is a thought or a concept, and instead I'm using new to indicate that something is fresh or brand new. So I'm going to change that to the thought process. So Tristan knew, he's thinking, that once a sun set. Here again, we've got an article, in this case a general article A. I want the definitive article, which is the. So once because we're talking about a specific sun, as far as I can tell, we only have one sun, at least in our universe. So galaxy. Tristan knew that once the sun set, turtles would, and again, we have another homophone, so it sounds like the would I intend to use, like that conditional. Instead, this is the would, like from a tree. So I'm going to change that to W-O-U-L-D. Would emerging, not quite, would emerge. So they would do this thing. So they would emerge, not would emerging, the gerund. In swarms, comma, hungry human flesh. Is it that the human flesh itself is hungry, or they themselves, referring back to those turtles, are pursuing human flesh? So hungry for, F-O-R, human flesh, period. Okay, hopefully this exercise helped you. Hopefully this was an authentic piece of writing that mirrors some of what perhaps you've seen. And again, if you found these exercises helpful, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe, like the video if you can, and I look forward to working with you in the next one. All right, thank you.